Your therapist has a name for what you're going through. Your doctor has a name for it too. They're both wrong. What you're feeling right now, stress, has never once done that to a human being. Stress doesn't make you question your entire personality overnight. Stress doesn't make old friends suddenly feel like strangers. Stress doesn't make you stare at the ceiling at 3 a.m., feeling like you're forgetting something you were never told. So if stress isn't doing this to you, what is? There's a name for it, and once you hear it, you won't be able to unhear it. It's not a breakdown. It's not a phase. It's not just a rough month. It's the exact thing they never taught you to recognize, happening to you right now, in real time. And by the end of this video, you will know for certain whether it's happening to you. Because once you see the signs, you'll realize you've been seeing them for months. There is a moment that comes before every spiritual awakening, and almost no one recognizes it while it's happening. It doesn't feel spiritual. It doesn't feel enlightened. It feels like falling apart. You wake up one day and the life you built suddenly feels like a costume that doesn't fit anymore. The job you worked so hard for feels empty, and the achievements that once excited you now feel meaningless. The relationships you once cherished feel distant, like you're watching them through glass from another room. You start asking questions you never asked before. Why am I here? What actually matters? Who am I without all these labels, these titles, these roles I've been playing my entire life? These questions feel terrifying because the world trained you to avoid them at all costs. You were taught to keep moving, keep achieving, keep distracting yourself from ever sitting in silence. But something inside you has stopped cooperating with that old programming, and it refuses to be ignored any longer. It's tired of the noise. It's exhausted from performing a life that was never truly yours. This is the first sign, and it is called the awakening of awareness, the moment your soul refuses to sleep any longer. Your mind will try to explain this away as anxiety, as a midlife crisis, as burnout from working too hard. But burnout doesn't make you crave silence the way you've been craving it lately. Burnout doesn't make you feel homesick for a place you've never actually been to. This restlessness isn't a malfunction, and it was never a weakness hiding inside you. It's a signal, because your consciousness is expanding faster than your old identity can keep up with. And that gap between who you were and who you're becoming is exactly where this discomfort lives. Most people numb this feeling completely, because they were never taught how to sit inside it. They scroll, they binge, they drown it all in noise, because facing it feels too overwhelming to survive alone. But you didn't come here to numb it, and some part of you already knows that. You came here because deep down, you already sense that something real is unfolding inside you. This isn't the end of who you are. It's the very beginning of who you were always meant to become. And the moment you stop resisting it is the moment everything finally starts. There is one more sign hiding beneath all of this, one that almost no one talks about, and it changes everything once you see it. The second sign is one that quietly wrecks people from the inside, and almost nobody connects it to what's really happening. You start losing interest in things that used to bring you joy, and it scares you more than you admit out loud. The shows you used to binge feel hollow now. The parties you used to love feel draining instead of fun. Even the people you used to run to for comfort suddenly feel like they're speaking a language you no longer understand. Your mind panics and calls this depression, calls this disconnection, calls this something broken that needs to be fixed immediately. But this isn't a malfunction, and it was never meant to feel comfortable in the way you expect healing to feel. This is your soul quietly outgrowing an old version of happiness that no longer fits who you're becoming. The things that once filled you up were built for a person you are actively in the process of leaving behind. This is why silence suddenly feels safer than socializing, and solitude feels like the only place you can finally breathe. You're not becoming antisocial. You're becoming selective about where your energy is allowed to go. Your spirit is asking you to stop performing joy and start actually searching for meaning underneath it. And that search will always feel uncomfortable before it feels like freedom, because growth was never meant to feel easy. Notice how certain conversations now feel exhausting, the small talk, the gossip, the complaining that used to feel normal. Your tolerance for surface-level noise is shrinking, because your soul is craving depth it has never craved before. This isn't you being difficult. This is you finally waking up to what actually nourishes your spirit. The world will call this withdrawal. Your family might call it distance. But your soul calls it discernment. And once you understand this shift, you'll stop apologizing for outgrowing what no longer feeds you. There's a third sign coming next, one that hides inside your body itself, and once you notice it, you'll never dismiss it as just stress again. The third sign lives inside your body, and this is the one your doctors will never fully explain to you. You feel exhausted no matter how much you sleep, like your energy is being pulled somewhere you can't see. Your chest feels tight for no reason. Your stomach twists during moments that should feel completely calm. Your body keeps sending signals, and your mind keeps mislabeling every single one of them as anxiety. But anxiety doesn't usually come with sudden waves of energy that make you feel like electricity is moving through your skin. Anxiety doesn't explain why your ears ring in complete silence, or why your body suddenly feels lighter than air. These sensations have a name most people have never been taught, and it's called awakening symptoms, the body catching up to the soul. Your nervous system is recalibrating itself, releasing years of suppressed emotion that you were never given permission to feel. This is why old memories keep resurfacing, uninvited, demanding to finally be acknowledged instead of buried again. This is why you suddenly cry during a song, a memory, a moment that seems to mean nothing to anyone else. Your body is releasing what your mind spent years pretending didn't exist, and that release was never comfortable. Healing was never supposed to feel gentle the entire time, because you can't grow without first breaking old patterns apart. Your sleep patterns shift too, waking up at the exact same hour every night, like something is trying to reach you. Some call this a coincidence. Others call it your intuition sharpening as your consciousness expands beyond old limitations. Your body isn't betraying you. It's finally telling you the truth you've been avoiding for years. And once you stop fighting these sensations, you'll realize they were never your enemy to begin with. There's a fourth sign now, one that will completely change how you see every relationship in your life. The fourth sign quietly reshapes every relationship in your life, and it will feel confusing before it feels clear. People closest to you suddenly feel further away, even though nothing between you has actually changed on the surface. Conversations that once felt easy now feel forced, like you're both speaking words that no longer carry real meaning. You're not falling out of love with these people. You're simply seeing them, and yourself, with new eyes. Some relationships will strengthen in ways you never expected, growing deeper as your capacity for honesty expands. Others will quietly fade, not through conflict, but through a natural drifting neither of you can fully explain. This isn't betrayal, and it isn't failure. This is your soul recalibrating itself to match your new frequency. You cannot carry every relationship from your old life into the life you're being called toward now. You'll notice you're more sensitive to energy now, feeling drained around certain people without any clear explanation why. You'll feel peace around others you barely know, like your spirit somehow recognizes something familiar in them. This isn't random, and it was never meant to be dismissed as overthinking or emotional oversensitivity. Your intuition is sharpening, teaching you to read energy the same way you once only read words and actions. Family members might not understand this shift, and some may even resist the changes happening within you. That resistance isn't proof that you're wrong. It's proof that you're growing faster than they're ready to witness. You don't need everyone to understand your awakening in order for it to be real and valid. You are allowed to outgrow spaces that once felt like home, even when leaving them breaks your heart a little. This transformation was never meant to be comfortable, because comfort was never the point of becoming who you truly are. There's one final sign left, the one that ties every single thing you felt together into a truth you can no longer ignore. The final sign is the one that ties everything together, and once you see it, you'll never look at your life the same way again. You've started craving purpose more than comfort, meaning more than money, truth more than approval from anyone around you. You look at your old goals, the house, the title, the image you built for everyone else, and something inside you whispers, that's not enough anymore. This isn't ingratitude. This is your soul finally demanding a life that actually feels like yours to live. You start noticing synchronicities everywhere, the same numbers, the same signs, the same messages arriving exactly when you need them most. Your mind calls it coincidence, but somewhere deeper, you already know coincidence was never the right word for this. You feel an unexplainable pull towards something greater, even if you can't name it, define it, or explain it to anyone else yet. This pull isn't confusion. It's your soul remembering something your mind simply hasn't caught up to understanding yet. If you felt even one of these 5 signs, understand this clearly: you were never broken, and you were never simply stressed. You are in the middle of the most important transformation a human being can ever go through. It will not always feel peaceful, and it will not always feel safe, but it will always feel true. This discomfort you've been carrying is not the end of your story, it is the doorway into the next one. You don't need to have all the answers right now, and you don't need to rush this process to feel like you're doing it right. You only need to stop calling this stress, and start honoring it as the awakening it has always been. Trust what your body has been telling you, trust what your spirit has been whispering, trust the discomfort that finally led you here. You were never falling apart. You were finally coming home to yourself, one uncomfortable, beautiful sign at a time. If this spoke to you, tell me in the comments which sign hit you the hardest, because you are not alone in this. And if you feel called to keep walking this path with me, stay close, because this awakening is only just beginning for you.